afternoon. Better. Thank you. I know this is a very odd hour of the day where after a heavy lunch everyone wants to snooze off, and seeing so many chairs empty, there's a ample opportunity for people to snooze off as well. But let me try and keep all of you awake with something different. AI is going everywhere, but we will try to use in a way where we can help mankind. So that's the objective what I'm driving in Reliance, apart from some fancy stuff. But let's try and see if AI is useful not only just to replace people, but AI can be very, very useful to make people's life much better than what it is right now. So that's the objective, or that's the theme of my presentation. But let's just start with this. So I'm going to talk about two main areas today, and we will take from there. So this is the first topic which I want to probably connect is AI in agriculture, where so the problem is statement what my chairman has given to me. How can I increase the farmer's income by 10x to start with? That's a different problem statement. All of us wants to earn more, but is there a possibility of farmers also earning more than what they are? Not going by traditional routes, but in conventional way. And there are other reasons also why AI is pitching into the agriculture field, and we will hear that as well. So if you talk about the main reason why AI is coming into the picture is more about population is growing, right? Population is exponentially growing, and the per capita yield what it used to happen, it remained as it is, or even it is declined. That means we are not going to get more land, because whatever land was available we are utilizing. Yes, there is more land available, but that's not necessary that everything is going to go to agriculture. So one, we are going to have, we need to have more production of yield to even survive and sustain. In today's environment, if I give you a comparative study of China versus India, so China has lesser amount of you can say farms or the lands which they utilize for agriculture, but they produce 3 times more than yield than what we are producing today, because of the kind of technological advancement what they have, and you can say the land size is pretty big for them rather than the small size what we have in India, where the issue comes because we can't have big technology in small farms, etc. So that's one of the reason. India's 60% population is in agriculture still, and can anyone guess what's the GDP they produce? Good number, close, around 20. So 60% population producing nearly 20% of GDP, that's pretty low. That's the place where AI in agriculture is going to come into the place. These are the other things which I have put together in terms of water, climate change happening. How do you utilize the technology to solve all the problems? Top of that, can you increase farmers' income? Anyone from farming background or families, one generation, two generation, three generation back, someone has done farming, right? Very good. Good to see at least people have some background and people have seen that challenge what farmers go through. So if I give you one example, the way farmers decide which crop they want to go for, there are only 2 or 3 ways. One, they are very comfortable with it. Second, someone next to their farm is going for that crop. Third, because the last season that crop's demand was very high. So if tomato has gone for 100 rupees last season, 90% of the farmers who have capability to go for tomato, they will go for it. That's not the way economy is going to work. That will give them a good yield, but will that give them best price or best ROI? No. Because if everyone is going for tomato, demand supply will crash and they will probably have to sell 20 or 30 rupees because the production is too high than the requirement. So we are working on a couple of things where, so this is I think we'll talk about that. So if you talk about the ecosystem of farming, how can we make things better? It starts from preparation and selection. One, your soil is capable of growing a particular crop, but that doesn't mean that it is going to give you the best price. So the three type which I have talked about, majority of the things will cover the capability of the crop or eligibility of the crop, which can you can go for it, but it cannot guarantee you to give you the best return. That's the place where you have to come with lot many things in terms of how you are connecting the entire region or the catchment area where mandi is to the farmers and identify a best way to go for a optimization route. So today what happens, India especially, out of India, farmers are not related to mandi. They go and sell or sell online to any place or any other, you can say, vendors and dealers. But in India, it is very specific. If you are going for a particular crop, 90% of the farmers will only sell to the nearest mandi. They don't have that much capability to take the, you can say, entire yield to far off places and think about getting the best price. So they go by their conventional method, and because of that, they don't able to get the best price possible. So when we talk about the preparation and selection, it is all about cultivation advisory, not around what you are eligible to grow, but what you should grow to get the best part of it. So we are working with Government of India, where we are trying to create a optimal ecosystem near the mandi. It will take time, it will take a lot of education for farmers to understand and digest that concept, because we are going to ask them to change the entire way of their thinking about maximizing the yield rather than maximizing the income what they are going to get it. And that will happen after multiple round of you can say optimization, where you are going for a particular crop, but it has to, you have to see how many farmers are going for that crop, and if government is able to collect that information on near real time, you can go for, think that okay, tomato, this particular region's demand is nearly complete, I should go for something else which I'm eligible to grow but has also a good demand, and it will give me a very good ROI at end of the year. That's the thought process which is going to take time. We do a lot of other things related to crops. So though when you talk about eligibility, soil care comes into a big way. Indian farmers don't have money to go for soil testing. Not if we don't even go for medical testing. Forget about soil testing, right? How many of us are regularly going for medical testing? Urban salaried people still get covered with their, you can say, packages and CTC, everything. And our organizations also push us to do that. But think about soil testing. One, it is not easily available, it is costly, and people don't give that much importance to that. Now, companies are coming up with technologies which will not require a person to go for soil testing. We are testing on satellite data to test the soil quality. Satellite, which is free of cost nowadays, there are many satellite which takes the pictures of each and every region in every 5 days, which are free, can give us soil quality as well if the land is barren. So this is, we are testing, and we are nearly around 80+% accuracy, where whatever we have tested in the laboratory, 80% we are close to giving that with the satellite data. That's the place where organizations are spending their money to create that information for farmers, where rather than relying on their conventional method, if we are able to give them importance and intelligence, they will be able to get without spending any money. So Reliance also had a app called GeoCrushy, where if you enroll, you will by default get the farm area which is connected to your, you can say, residency, or wherever your GPS is showing. You can select your farms. it will identify the soil quality if we have calculated in the past, or we will ask that, okay, what time your land would be barren, and we will give you the soil quality report around that time. So these are the things which are coming into the picture where people are going for these applications to create an advisory system. One, for the crop selection. Second, pesticide and fertilizer. Yes, that cannot happen with satellite. For that, you have to use your phone to take the picture of your farm and plants and send it to us, where we analyze and advise that, okay, this is the pesticide for a particular crop, and these are the fertilizers you have to utilize in a certain time period window. So that day-to-day advisory we provide to farmers in terms of getting that done in a very, very small, you can say, turnaround time. And also they can save a lot of money by not spending so much money on fertilizer on the conventional way what they used to do it. Yield forecasting is again connected to that optimization what I was talking about, that if you have that optimization system of what is going to be the demand and supply of that particular region, you can give advisory of optimized selected crop which farmers should go for it. Storage, India is not a place where we have tons and tons of storage. We can advise farmers to look for something which is around them, or it is more of a online availability of storage houses in the particular region. But beyond that, it is nothing what Indian government or people like us can do that. Sales and financial being is where a lot of companies are coming up today to cater the underbanked population. Anyone know what is underbank, or what is the percentage of underbank in India? Underbanks are people who do have account in bank but not have sufficient credit line items to get credit from any bank, any you can say government or non-government organizations. That percentage in India was around 17, 1.5 year back, but still it's not gone below 15%. So that 15% population is underbanked, and we still have around 15% population which are unbanked. That means they don't even have a single bank account in their ecosystem. So that is roughly around 30% of the population who is not eligible to get any, you can say, loan from any, you can say, institution. That 30% population, they do not have a financial transaction, but they have a lot of other transactions which are coming into the place, where NBTs are trying to create, you can say, social security. You can say the way we get the our social security and our bureau detail from banks, the bureau which gives us our what do you call it, credit rating. For credit rating for unbanked and underbanks, where they do not have financial transaction but they have a lot of other transactions. For example, they are buying the farm equipment, they are having a telephone, right? Telephone everyone has in India. 88% of the household have a telephone in India. That means they are have that percentage is higher than the underbanked population. How can we utilize the other data of financial transaction and come up with a credit score for them? A lot of companies are working towards that to get into the sector where people have not gone and given, you can say, loans to that. Uh, if I talk about the market potential, this is a good number to talk about it. The 2023, it was 1.9 billion investment going on agriculture with AI, and the increase is around 25% in by 2030. So that's a huge investment. People are thinking about this as one of the category where everyone wants to invest, because the potential is huge, and this is one market where not many players have captured it right now. So if you guys want to do something in agriculture, the future is pretty bright. Take that as a additional social cause. You will feel much more happier than probably working for creating a market mix model for a company or a MNC. But Potential is that this sector is going to grow very, very big. We have not seen the vertical farming at this point of time in India, but that also is going to come where you have three, four, five layer of, you can say, harvesting going in the farms to start with. Belgium is doing amazingly good. That's tiny country which is in Europe that is producing yield more than Brazil. Think about that, just by doing vertical farming. So that will come to India as well. So agriculture is one space where things are going to go really high in probably next couple of years, not only just in India, but across India also. I'll quickly switch gear to talk about one more area which is more for social. We take it for granted living in cities like Bangalore or in first tier city. Healthcare, we are not bothered about availability of doctors or availability of hospital beds, etc. But think about that situation in tier 3 city, tier 4 city where there are no doctors, hardly probably one doctor in the city, and probably thousands of people who needs to cater to that. So this is the number of beds per 10,000 across the world, and India is nearly last second, where we have only 15 beds for 10,000 people in India. And think about, this is an average. In Bangalore, we have probably 5 times more beds than, or 10 times more bed than the population of Bangalore itself. But that, if you remove the top 1%, the rest of would be probably one bed of per 10,000 people, to be very frank. If we talk about the doctors, Germany has nearly 4.5 doctors per 1,000 people. India has not even one doctor per that number. Certainly, that 1%, if we remove the cities like Mumbai or Bangalore, etc., it will be probably not even zero point 0.5 or 0.3% for rest of the tier 2 or tier 3 cities. This is the place where AI can play a mega role in terms of creating doctor related efficiencies using AI. So we have built a application called Avigna. You guys can do that. It is just a replica of WebMD, which is a foreign application where you can, it's a symptom tracker. You mostly utilized by the second tier or third tier cities, but if you have a confusion which doctor you want to go and consult with your symptoms, it will tell you that okay, you are in a high risk or a medium risk or a low risk. Also, it is going to suggest you that okay, whom you should go and take appointment, which type of doctor you should go and take appointment. It's not meant for urban population. It's meant for the people where you do not have the primary health care available with the you can say surroundings. So these kind of apps and video conferencing, which all the doctors are working right now, and COVID has really helped to evolve and taken that to next stage where even we people who are living in multi you can say big cities, they are also trying to do a video conferencing because we have to travel for 1 hour or more. These two things are picking up really high. Second is still a human dependent because you still require a doctor to consult it. But that first one, which I was talking about, WebMD, Avigna, there are a couple of more. Avigna is more designed for Indian population, Indian diseases. We are covering nearly 90% of the top five top diseases which happens in India. And we have better accuracy than a MBBS graduate. So just with the AI formulation, we were able to receive that accuracy where you don't need a doctor, but you give a symptom. It's we are going to launch it in different languages where you just talk to a chatbot, and it is going to ask you a couple of questions, probably 3 or 5 questions, give you a couple of options, and it will tell you that what kind of disease you are having. Do you have to immediately rush to the doctor or call ambulance? Probably in future it will have a auto connection to the nearest ambulance service, so that once you confirm that yes, these are your symptoms and you require an ambulance, it is automatically going to call the ambulance, and you will not have to go and find the doctors or these primary healthcare service. Right now we are using ashatais of tier 3 and tier 4 cities. We are educating them to start using that application for people, villagers who cannot operate phone or who are not ready to take that risk to start with. But then once they understand how to utilize these apps, these applications are, we will probably give it in geophone so that they don't have to search for a doctor. It's like a doctor on your phone. For 90% of the things you can utilize a AI doctor or a Vigna, but rest of the things you certainly have to go to the doctor. A lot of things are going on. I know Nirmala Niramai, I think a session is also planned up in the evening where she's going to talk about how she's using X-rays and scans to identify the cancer. So that is one space where a lot of work is going on. A lot of work is going on in the clinical trials, and I think COVID has expedited that entire journey where all the clinical trials which used to happen in the physical space, now 90 to 95% can happen through simulation. You don't have to test each and every you can say each and every type of permutation and combination of things in the real world. Probably you can try with 8 or 9 different combination and then simulate it to get that result. So that's the way where AI is going. Everyone would have heard about all the AI getting utilized for minting more money. Here also scope is pretty high to mint money, but this will give little more satisfaction where AI can be used for people's wellness, people's social cause, and make our society much more better. That's from my side. If you have any questions, let me know.